There are currently 300 pieces of legislation throughout the United States seeking to criminalize, stigmatize, and discriminate against trans people. One of the most marginalized populations in the U.S. is under attack for simply existing. There's laws, policy, media, and religious groups that are crusading to eradicate protections and limit healthcare access to trans individuals. As a member of the LGBT community and a Black man, I understand what it means to have to fight for your rights. Trans rights are human rights. And when we allow people to deny the rights of some, then we open the door for them to limit the rights for all. The trans community needs our help. They're one of the smallest populations in the country, yet they combat social and political injustices alone. Of the 300 pieces of legislation introduced this year, many are focused on trans youth, a population of only 300,000 individuals. The entire trans community makes up less than 1% of the population. Nevertheless, countless news stories, op-ed pieces, political agendas, and laws are weaponizing fear and ignorance against the trans community. The trans community already faces upheaval simply by existing, and instead of government protection, they face persecution. The statistics for trans individuals are very grim. With limited healthcare access, job protections, and limited laws protecting them against violence, trans people are suffering. 80% of trans youth experience suicidal ideation, and almost 50% will attempt suicide before adulthood. Almost 70% of trans people will experience some level of homelessness or home insecurity at some point in their life. Many times this is due to housing discrimination or the inability to find work because of workplace discrimination. Trans people are 4 times more likely to be victims of violence versus cisgender people solely based on their gender identity. This is everyone's fight. The trans community needs each and every one of us to fight against the hate and bigotry that is spreading across the country. Utilize your digital voices and combat any hate speech that you see online. Use your civic duty and vote for elected officials that are going to fight against these anti-trans legislation. Give your money and time to organizations that support and advance trans rights. Educate yourself on the problems that are facing the trans community, and then when you encounter friends, family, or colleagues that are speaking hate towards the trans community, use your position, power, and influence to combat that. Think back to the civil rights movement of the 1960s and understand that it was not just Black people. It was white people of privilege and power working with Black people that ended segregation and ushered in a new era of equality. That same type of cooperation is what it's going to take to end the hate against trans people and to promote trans rights. I envision a world where we all can be free to express ourselves as we see fit, where we are free from persecution and where our humanity is valid. America is engaged in a battle of civil rights. Across this country, citizens are being told their existence does not matter and that their life is not valuable, and their humanity is not valid. Trans people, although represented in all races and all ethnic backgrounds, account for less than 1% of the U.S. population. Yet the full force of the government seeks to destroy their lives and invalidate their rights. As Americans and humans, we have a moral obligations to fight for the weakest among us. Stand against the forces that seek to destroy them. For when we do not, those same forces will eventually come for us all. History is writing itself. What side will you be on? Will you sit quietly as innocent lives are lost to hate and bigotry? Will you turn a blind eye to the sufferings of others simply because it does not affect you? Instead, stand up and fight, for if we fail to win this battle, we fail to win the war. And one day we will look around for the freedoms we once shared and find nothing